Boobies.
Hey, my name is Mixlaw, and today we're going to be looking at the CS-03 Starqueen by Collector's Space. This is another third-party Transformer figure, and thank God it's not as bad as Bumblebee. Trust me, it's actually really fun, it's really good. Well, as we get it out of the box, you can see all the accessories and other parts, and we look at the— oh! That's not right, something's wrong. Quickly, swap out the accessories! Ah, there we are. Much better. And I bet you're wondering how I came across such a great figure. This is a very long story, very in-depth detail. May as well be Lord of the Rings 2.0. I went onto Instagram, right? And then found this post and I was like, alright, I gotta pre-order this. It looks awesome. So the figure releases to the public and everyone's happy. It's great. Everyone loves it. All the review channels are going nuts for it. Literally. But then I noticed something with all these review channels. Something feels off. Especially with some of these YouTubers' hands. And then I realized something. They're reviewing this figure with only one hand. Now you might be saying, oh, but their second hand's right there. That's where they get you. They're actually using a prosthetic hand this whole time. How do I know this? Don't question it, I know these things. I will know these things till the end. They're using the yank it from Family Guy. Anyway, what did this figure have? Well, if you're looking at the first layer of the packaging, you'll see, what is that? Okay, that is her backpack. Yes, she has a backpack. Which really nicely and neatly fits into her back. Like, it's got a perfect slot, it fits in so nicely. But then you would say, wait a minute, you hated Bumblebee because he had a massive backpack. That's a good point. But this is detachable, and actually some parts can come off so you can just have the wings and not the enormous backpack. It being a really big immersion breaker with that massive, fat backpack. But regardless, let's look at the actual figure itself. It looks phenomenal. As a different, well, gender-bent version of G1 Starscream, I think this is a really good adaptation. It has that— I love all the small details, the rivets, all the painting, sculpting, looks incredible. The face especially. I've got to show you the accessories, all different faces, they look amazing, I love them. There's two sets. One set is the human skin tone, and the other is the actual like G1, sort of accurate tone, more that grayscale. This figure came with 4 different expressions, 8 total, for each skin tone, which is a default face, that smug look, that angry face, and that open mouth maniacal laughter kind of face, along with her grey face variants. And changing facial expressions is pretty easy. All you have to do is open the little slots on the side, poke out the face, and then put on a new one. It's that simple. And for her other accessories, she has 2 little blades, which fit perfectly into her arms, or you could, put in the special, handpiece, which, lets her hold stuff. Now, personally, I don't use it. That's predominantly because I don't care. And I just can't be bothered. Do you know how much effort it is to put in, a sword in a slot? That's way too much effort. Now, what else does she have? That's a good thing to ask. She has her null rays. Compressed down. This is actually really cool. I don't mind this gimmick. Not even a gimmick, just a little feature. On a little side note, I really love the painting and detail in this one as well. It looks so good. Now, all you have to do is open this little compartment, flip around the barrel, and hey presto, hey look, it's the actual null rays that look more like G1 accurate style. Which conveniently plug into the little slots seen here on the wings. It's very nice, I do like that. But some people might say, wait a minute, the null rays are always on Starscream's shoulders, not on his back, which you are right. That's it, that is true, but honestly, I don't mind it on the actual backpack itself, because it gives more posability for the actual guns themselves. And oh, foolish me, I almost forgot about the hands! Because the hands on Starqueen are actually not posable. No, you actually have to swap them out and replace them with different hands. I'm not going to go into too much detail, it's pretty self-explanatory of what it is. And for the last major thing she has, it's a stand. Which is actually really cool. You can open up the little side part there and dump all your accessories in there if you don't want to keep putting it back in the box. But this is a warning. This figure will break that stand. You might have it perfect and maybe I'm just unlucky, but that stand it's not strong enough. I had to glue metal parts on and it still isn't good enough. Now that I'm finally finished with all the accessories, we can finally talk about the actual figure itself. I know I've already brought up how it looks and feels, but I can't preface it enough, it is really good. It's got a lot of die-cast metal, I noticed, and apparently it's got some silicone. Oh, there it is. Now, give me a moment, I've got to check something real quick. Okay. It's times like these, I'm so happy I actually pre-ordered stuff for once instead of getting it secondhand. Alright, let's talk about posability, because I have to say, she is quite flexible. Head can go up this far, and look downwards this far. The part in her actual head is on a ball joint, giving it this much posability. The shoulder is able to do a full 360 rotation, and can go out by 90 degrees. Both arms have a full 360 swivel, and the actual elbows themselves are double jointed, without the shoulder pad getting in the way, but other than that, it's good. Now, this figure doesn't have a full waist swivel, but it has an upper chest and lower part of her body that actually is able to swivel and pose, which I would say that is a good pass, and works. There's also an ab crunch. The legs can move outwards and sideways by 90 degrees. The knee is double jointed, but with that massive fin on her calf, you just have to push it through and it'll be fine. It can fit quite nicely there. Alright, I like this part with the thigh here. It's actually double jointed, which allows just generally more posability and flexibility. I have it on another figure, and it's a bit more flimsy though, so that's a bit of an issue. Her feet are on these really odd ball pivots, which I don't mind personally, and the heels themselves are actually able to, clamp down a bit, and the back heel's actually able to fold out as well to, give more support to more heavy things on her back. Alright, now that's done, let's talk about size comparing and scaling. And honestly, this might sound odd, I think this is masterpiece scale. It would just be an incredibly, really small masterpiece, near Bumblebee size, but still. Here she is next to Blocky's Optimus Prime, Lego Optimus Prime, and my previous review, MP45 Bumblebee. And, yep, you're never gonna see him again, by the way. I've returned him, he's sold, he's gone, thank God. I think this is actually a really good scale and size of Starqueen. It just shows she is tiny and very annoying. Even through all these Transformer continuities, Starscream's always been gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. He truly was the queen all along. And speaking of queen, I've made something, this is why this video is taking so long. It's at the end of the video, I'll show it off. It's great. I realize now, I've been talking for a long time. So I'm gonna transform it, and then talk a lot more, thanks to that oversized backpack, we can finally have a look at it. And yeah, it's very sleek and very clean. Even the underside is actually not too horrendous to look at. So in its jet mode, it can have its weapons attached to the sides where they usually go, so you could transform the whole figure and not have to remove the null rays. And as well, this figure has landing gears, which, you know, you wouldn't expect something like that, but lo and behold, there it is. And trying it on stands, that it goes into that little shield slot, but yeah, my stand broke, so it's fine. At the moment I can use like Gundam stands, because that's the only thing that like can hold it up. But what if you want both the robot mode and the jet mode? Well, it's this little piece, that's all it does. I do believe that is why the backpack is really detachable as well, is because you could simply grab this little piece I showed, put it on top where, you know, Starqueen's chest would go, and there you go, you got the entire jet mode except, you know, without most of the landing gear. I do appreciate how it's able to maintain its size, keep it nice and consistent, and very clean. Back to size comparison, here she is next to Blocky's Optimus Prime, Lego Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee. And now, the reason why my video took so long to make. Because when I saw many people reviewing this figure, I noticed a pattern. It was called Starqueen, yet it didn't feel like it. That's where I came in with my solution. Yeah, I decided to make my own crown. Now, at the moment, it is a prototype. There's still a lot of things I've got to tweak and fix up because it is not great. It's very rough. It's obviously seen, but you know what? It's really good so far. Although, on retrospect, I think this was a really big waste of time. It's not even funny. You might even say it's bad comedy. Now to the final conclusions. Overall, this figure could be considered very, I don't know, kawaii, or tsugoi, or, I don't know, good. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, cool. I really like this figure. I would actually, for what you're paying for, I would highly recommend it. It's really fun, clean, sleek, and it's just overall really enjoyable. I would give it maybe I'd say out of 10, maybe a 7. Yeah, that's being maybe very generous, but I'd say it's 7. It's fun. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas for other reviews I should do, leave it in a comment. I'll probably read it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I did. I'll see you whenever I, upload again.